जय हिंद दोस्तों, welcome to AP Academy, and today we are going to discuss another current issue which is really a burning issue, an issue which shakes the whole world. That is, Talibans are back. After 20 years, Talibans have captured the powers in Afghanistan. I hope each and everyone knows about this news, as the news is going on in the last 2 or 3 days only on Taliban, that the Taliban captures Afghanistan. After 20 years, Talibans are back in power, and this is the footage of the inside the President House, where sometimes back Ashraf Ghani is sitting. Now, the Talibans have taken over this seat and also the President's house. Now, today is the lecture about who are Talibans, as well as how does it affects India. See, anything can happen in any part of the world. Each and every country gets affected from that. As now the whole world is borrowed, the whole world is now shaken about the incident that was happened on Afghanistan. When Taliban comes to Kabul, they have captured Kabul, and the President Ashraf Ghani has left the country, and now it's up to Taliban's power, which is coming back after 20 years. So how does it affect India? That's very important. About the effect of Taliban on India. Taliban on India. Or other effects. So, what is the recent news? The Taliban has entered Kabul and drove the US-backed government of Ashraf Ghani from power to establish control of Kabul. The Taliban had entered Kabul on 16th August. Now, the US-backed government of Ashraf Ghani, he has been drove out from the power, and Taliban now established the control on the Kabul. However, Taliban promises to restore peace and security to its predominantly Pashtun cadre and followers, alongside the enforcement of its strict version of Islamic law or Sharia. See, Taliban has got an image of strictly implementing the Islamic law or Sharia. That is the fear which now Afghan peoples feel when the Taliban is back. Before 20 years, from 1996 to 2001, the Talibans are there in the power in Afghanistan, and they have strictly followed the Islamic law or Sharia law. Ashraf Ghani, former Afghan president, fled the country to an undisclosed location as an assault on the capital appeared imminent. As the Taliban have came to the border of the Kabul, the Afghan president Ashraf Ghani has left the country. That is very surprising for each and everyone that without giving any fight, or it is the president, he has left the country. Now, in the next slide, we will discuss about who is Taliban. Now, you should know that who is Taliban. Taliban means students in the Pashto language has emerged in the early 1990s in northern Pakistan following the withdrawal of Soviet troops from Afghanistan. See, Taliban is actually means the students in the Pashto language. They are emerged in 1990 in northern Pakistan when the Soviet troops are leaving from Afghanistan. They are the Sunni fundamentalist organizations, means they follow the Sunnis. They are actually the Sunni fundamentals organizations. The predominantly Pashtun movement first appeared in religious seminars mostly paid by the money from Saudi Arabia, who preached a hardline form of Sunni Islam. See, this Pashtun movement firstly appeared in religious seminaries, mostly paid by the from Saudi Arabia. They are actually the hardline form of Sunni Islam. The Taliban are the hardline forms of Sunni Islam. Mullah Umar, who died in 2013, was regarded as the founder of Taliban. So Mullah Umar, you should know the name of Taliban's founder, that is Mullah Umar, who died in 2013. By 1998, the Taliban were in control of almost 90% of Afghanistan. In 1998, the Taliban were in control of almost 90% of Afghanistan and were notorious for their strict implementation of the Sharia or Islamic law. See, they were having only one thing, that is fear for each and every people, that they strictly implement the Sharia or the Islamic law when they are in power in 1996 to 2001. The women are not allowed to work. They have no rights to go for work, or they have no rights to study. These are the strict Sharia or Islamic laws. The current head of Taliban is Hibatullah Akhundzada. He is the current head of the Taliban, Hibatullah Akhundzada. Pakistan, along with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, recognized the Taliban when they were in power in Afghanistan. See, when Taliban is in the power in Afghanistan, only three countries have recognized them. One is the Pakistan, second one is the Saudi Arabia, and the third one is the UAE. The Taliban were removed from powers in October 2001 by a coalition of forces led by the USA and several other countries. We all know the incident of 9/11. 9/11, which was happened in World America, and Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden has taken the responsibility of that attack. So for that attack only, in order to find Osama bin Laden, the US troops came to Afghanistan, and rest of the story you all know very well. The Taliban were removed from power in October 2001 by the United States of America, and now in 2021 they are back in the power in Afghanistan, means exactly after 20 years they are back. Now, next slide. What does Afghan crisis means to India? That is very important. because as an Indian person, you should know that what are the prospects or what are the effects that are coming up after the Afghan crisis in India. The immediate challenge is a massive humanitarian crisis on account of the hundreds of thousands of internally displaced. Means, see, the people of India are still there in Afghanistan. So the immediate challenge is to vacate them safely, and it was going on, the operation is going on, as our government has said that their first priority is to vacate Indians, vacate the minorities from Afghanistan. So this is a very immediate challenge for the Indians. As well as with the Taliban in Kabul, the old debate in India is going on whether to talk to the Taliban or not, because India have never recognized them as a government, as an organization. So it is the debate which was going on in India that whether we talk or not, because as per the previous our agenda that we have never talked to Taliban. Now, this is the major concern, that whether to talk to Taliban or not. Some of the leaders in India are favoring that we should talk to Taliban, or we should have to talk to Taliban. But still, Indian government has not taken any step, and they have not taken any stand on Taliban. India will find itself in a relatively disadvantageous position in Afghanistan. Now, why India is having a relatively disadvantageous position? Disadvantageous position. India find itself disadvantageous because India have invested a lot of money in Afghanistan. We have built a lot of dams. We have built the parliament of Afghanistan. We have invested a lot of money in Afghanistan. So it will be a very disadvantageous position, as now the Taliban is ruling over the Afghanistan. So it is a very important concern that we have invested a lot of amount in Afghanistan. Even when every country, including the US, legitimized the Taliban politically by opening talking to them, Indian policymakers were still hesitant. Means each and every country now, including US, they are legitimizing the Taliban's politically by openly talking to them. As we have seen in the recent news, that China, Pakistan, and Russia have welcomed, and they have clearly said that they will recognize Taliban. America is also talking up in Taliban. So now the Indian policymakers were still hesitant because we have never talked to Taliban in the past history. So it is very challenging for us that what stand should India take. So it is very hesitant for them to take any action or hesitant. Now, investment at the Chabar port in Iran and the Zarang Delam road in Afghanistan could go in vain. Means we have invested a lot of amount, and it is very important or a challenging phase for India to legitimize or to invest at this port. Next, future steps. Now, what are the future steps? It is the time for the New Delhi to carefully monitor the evolving situation and wait for the opportunities of new engagement. See, now it's time for the Indian government to carefully monitor about the situation and wait for the opportunity for new engagement. India will also have to live with Islamabad's previous success in its adventure in Afghanistan and its implications for the Indian national security. See, as we have seen in the yesterday, that the Pakistan Prime Minister is very happy about the formation of Taliban, and as an Indian, it is a very important aspect for India's national security. So it is very important for India to monitor it very territory is not used that the Indian territory is not used for anti-Indian activities. So it is only anti activities. So it is only also all the stakeholders should engage about this, that the stakeholders should engage about this, that the Afghan territory should not be used for any Indian anti-Indian activity. So this is all about today's current news. Who is Taliban? You have understood very well. Now, what are the area of concerns for India, and what are the future steps India is going to take on this? And this news is very important, and currently it is going on in a very drastic manner. So I hope you have understood the lecture, and if you have understood it, if you like, then share it, like it, or subscribe it, so that this knowledge should also go to another persons also. And any update, if any update is going on in this news, then I will make another video about that. So I am we are you also have to, and we are also closely watching these situations. So that's it from my side. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Jai Hind. Namaskar.